Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, welcome. My name is Mandy and I have a new concealer. This is a new launch from RMS. This is the Revitalize Hydra Concealer Corrector. I purchased this the day it launched, and this is the second day that I have worn it. So I do have a little bit of thoughts from yesterday, and then I will continue those thoughts with my wear today. I have the shade CN10, which I'm going to go over in the demo more, but this claims to be a medium concealer with a satin skin-like finish, crease proof, ultra nourishing. It's skincare heavy, which I feel all makeup is now. That's the thing. Let's put as much skincare as we can into our makeup as possible. It says that it improves the appearance of skin's texture while seamlessly color correcting and concealing dark circles, imperfections, and redness with smooth, long-lasting coverage. It's clinically proven to provide 8 hours of hydration and visibly reduces the look of crow's feet and fine lines after 30 days of use. So what I get from that is that this claims to be very hydrating. It seems the marketing is geared more towards people with drier under eyes, drier skin as a whole, and promises to be long-lasting and crease-proof. And that's what we're gonna be putting to the test today. But first we've got to put it on. So let's jump into the demo, and the very end of the video, I'm gonna have my check-in at the end of the day with my final thoughts. The only thing I have on my face right now is tinted SPF. I don't have a corrector on because I wanna show the coverage that this gives by itself. I did take a little bit of the tinted SPF under my eyes, but you can still see quite a bit of darkness, and this is more than it would be if I had a corrector on. I got the shade CN010 or CN10. I do think I probably could have gotten a darker shade, but this one is described as cool neutral for light skin. I typically like to go for more cool undertones when it comes to concealers because that most of the time helps further color correct my darkness. But looking at it, I probably should have gotten WN15 because that is warm neutral for light to medium skin. They don't have a cool neutral for light to medium, so this would be probably the one I should have gone with. But alas, this is 5 milliliters of product and it retails for $35. It does come with a brush instead of a doe foot, which I kind of like, something different. It does collect quite a bit of product on that brush, so it's something to keep in mind when applying it. And then when I purchased it, they were having like a promo where you got a free concealer brush with it. And when you look at the directions of how to apply, it says to either use this brush or your fingers. So I'm gonna use this brush on one side, my fingers on the other. This is a very emollient concealer. And again, a lot of product comes off of the brush. So I only am gonna put it right there in my trough where it tends to be the darkest, and then I'm gonna blend it out. This is the eye I'm gonna use the concealer brush with. I don't typically love small brushes like this. I also want to do what the brand says to do when reviewing a product. So blend it out pretty easy. I don't know if you'll be able to see, it is lighter than I typically like for concealers. I would say it's a medium coverage. And the other side, I'm gonna put the same amount right in my trough and use the warmth of my finger because that was the other option in application. So it took longer to blend out with my finger, but it has more coverage than with the brush. And it did say that if you need more coverage to just apply more and build on top of itself. So I'm gonna do that and then use my finger over here. Yesterday when I applied this, because this is not my first time wearing it, I used my BK Beauty brush that I use for all of my concealers. So I haven't tried it this way yet. I do think using your finger to blend it out does provide more coverage, but I also think it's not full coverage because I still can see some of my darkness. You hopefully are gonna be able to see across the camera that it is hydrating enough to give a somewhat luminous finish. We're gonna see if that dials down with powdering it because I always powder my concealer, always. I don't know that I have ever worn a concealer without powdering it. I think it's essential for me. I don't love a very luminous under eye. I'm checking to see if there's any creasing, and there's not any more than normal for when I use other concealers and go in to kind of blend out the creases before I set it. I'm using my Laura Mercier Soft Pink powder, per usual. I did not use anything different than I normally do. Meaning I didn't use a different eye cream this morning than I usually do. Yesterday I did. I used a new one yesterday, so I'm gonna see how it compares to how it wore over that eye cream. And I didn't do anything different last night. I used my Avenge Sickle Fate like I do every single night to kind of lock everything in underneath my eyes. So that's going to give me the truest test as to how this wears, because I know how all of my other favorite concealers wear over my eyes from the night before with the Avenge and the eye cream that I'm using right now. So that is set. Definitely took down some of the luminosity. I'm going to go finish my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have finished up my makeup. So I'm using my lovely 10 times mirror, y'all. There's nothing lovely about it. And I'm hoping maybe I can zoom in and show you what I'm talking about. It looks a little dry right now. And there's like one little crease over here already. And I literally just got done with my face and makeup. But I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna go throughout my day, and I am gonna do a check-in later on so you can see how it held up, if it held up, and what it looks like. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back. It is now 7.5 hours later, and I have been out and about for the majority of that time. I just did a close-up picture, which I don't recommend doing in natural light, in another room. I do think it showed pretty well what I'm trying to have come across to y'all. So hopefully I'll be able to make it noticeable on the screen. And then I'm also gonna try to zoom in. This is not the worst wearing concealer that I have ever worn by far. And I will say it wore better today than it did yesterday. I think that has to do with the eye cream that I wore more so than anything else, because that's the only thing that I changed. Yesterday, at the end of the day, it was very, very dry. And when I say dry, I mean like flakes of skin dry underneath my eyes. Today, it is not that prevalent, but it is dry. It looks like my under eyes are a little parched. If you're standing right in front of me, is it gonna look like that? Probably not. I mean, I'm talking like critical 10 times mirror thing here, but I critique all of my concealers critically in a 10 times mirror. So that's what I'm going against. Again, not the worst wearing at all. Is it gonna make it into my top 5? Probably not. I do think that the color is just too light for my preferences, and the one that I mentioned earlier, the WN15, I think it was, is definitely something that's gonna be better for me, but I'm not going to worry about ordering that right now. If I go in store and see it and I'm like, oh, that's a really good color, then maybe I will. I just have so many concealers that I really like how they wear, and I really like how they look 7.5 hours later, 10.5 hours later. I'm not in any rush to go out and make sure I get the best color. Am I returning it? No. I will still use it. It's just not in my top 5. If you have tried this concealer, you may have a totally different experience, and I welcome you telling us about that in the comment section, because we are all different. So this is not me telling you, don't go buy this concealer, don't try it, it's not good. I've said it before, I can't stand when creators do that, because who am I to tell you what is gonna work for your skin? I don't know. I have no idea, and you don't either until you try it. So I'm just telling you how it's working so far on mine. I will continue to try it out, and I will continue to update y'all, but hopefully for now, that was helpful. I will have the concealer listed and linked down below. I love RMS, okay? Please don't get it twisted. I adore them. They are in my top 5 brands. I need to do another full face using their products because I love them. This one is just not on the top of my list for the brand as a whole. So thank y'all so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.